This little deal here tonight is celebrating three things. There's 15 years of Marla starting and building her own company, 30 years of putting up with me, and you're really not 60.
No way.
We needed to make it, we needed the math to work, so it's really her 50th birthday. The big 60-year-old birthday. Each one of those things by itself is a big achievement. When you put them all together, it spells a big expensive party like this. So I said, you know, Mark, you never threw me a party, and here we go. You got your party.
I was sweet 16. Who was there?
But really, thank you. It's terrific. I'm going to ask a couple people I'd like to ask to say a couple of words kind of relating to these three milestones. Lainey Materas, who has spent probably most of her professional career with Marla, all of her professional. She's your right hand, your left hand, and everything else in the middle, right? You probably know a lot more things about her than I do. Lainey will talk for a few minutes. I want to hear, where's my kids? Thank you. Well, I'm going to make those kids come up here and tell everybody how much they love you. Or else. And then I'll just talk a little bit about, a few words about us. So, Lainey? She's got... Some things never change.
3 pages. I couldn't cut it down.
They told me 8 to 10 minutes. Who told you 8 to 10 minutes?
You did.
No, I didn't.
So Toby said I'm going to cry, probably. And the only reminder is that I cry in 5 minutes, so I'm going to do my best not to cry. But, so wonderful to be here tonight to celebrate all these great milestones, and I feel very honored. Hard to believe it, but I did not want a career in AMA, but student loans started happening, and I needed a real job. So when I started at Creston, I knew in order to be successful, I would need a mentor to help me through this foreign world of dating. Enter the beautiful Marla Sutherland. At first glance, I knew she could show me the fashion world, just from her great sense of style. She was then, and still now, a fashionista, so gorgeous. Marla was immediately willing to share her skills and expertise with me. She taught me the best way to sell is to listen to the customer. She was hyper successful at this, making her the top sales rep consistently at RCS. And she taught me how to grow my network. She personally introduced me to 90% of the people I know in the industry today by always inviting me on dealer visits and industry events. I learned to never say no to a Marla invite. She always had a positive attitude and was so enthusiastic in front of clients. People enjoyed being in her presence. I marveled at how well she worked the room, whether it was chatting up the president of the dealership or a field tech. She had and still has the uncanny skill at remembering important life events of her clients, and her generosity is second to none. These are skills I hope to master, the skills that have made Marla the success she is today. She taught me how to multitask. She introduced me to her calendar organizer, Big Black, and showed me how to use Atlas road maps. She could answer the phone, write in Big Black, all while driving and looking at a map. Directions. That took some serious talent. A master juggler of so many different things, product lines, EV dealers, consultants, end users, the list goes on. At 45, Marla started her own rep firm, not a simple task. To my knowledge, she was one of the first women-owned rep firms. This is a big deal. You could never say that there was an abundance of women in AV. Marla was breaking into the good old boys network. She quickly picked up some great lines and hired some tremendous talent.
Around the road, on the periphery.
To help build the territory. Pretty soon, manufacturers started to seek her out based on the territory success and her Rolodex of contacts. Old school. When I was lucky enough to start working at Sapphire Marketing 10 years ago, I was able to see the businesswoman side of her more closely. Whether it was negotiating new line contracts or fighting hard for earned sales and commission, she always did it with grace and care, making sure never to be offensive and rude like some. But the most valuable lesson this wonderful woman has personally taught me was having the ability to do all the things that I mentioned, while also being a dedicated mother and a wonderful wife. A very delicate balancing act. She has shown me that a woman can be strong and successful and still run home to her kids' back-to-school needs. She also taught me that I don't have to bake cupcakes for bake sales. I can buy them from a bakery. A true sage. It is one thing to be a boss, another thing to be a mentor, but a completely different thing to be a great leader. I am proud and honored to continue being led and mentored by you, Marla. Now I'm completely biased when it comes to Marla. So I reached out to some competing reps in the Northeast and asked them what they thought of you and Sapphire. Here are some words from Frank Culata, owner of Sunco. In my early days in the industry, many veterans told me they like strong competition as it makes them stronger themselves. Back then, I thought this was hogwash. He really did say hogwash. And wished my competitors would just lay down and fade away. But as I have grown, I realized the wisdom of the veterans' comments and can report that having Marla and Sapphire as the strongest competitor in our area has in fact made our own company have to work and think differently, and as a result, made us stronger. But not as strong as us, Frank. And now, John Cardone's time. We at CSA consider Sapphire at the very top of how a rep organization should operate. Marla has built the model firm and surrounded herself with a truly professional staff of loyal and wonderful people. We have the utmost respect for Sapphire Marketing. Your firm truly embodies the term friendly competition with CSA, and we are always happy to help you as you have helped us over the years. May many continued years of success to you and your wonderful team. How many of us can hear such glowing praise from our competitors? Not many, right? Truly a testament of the kind of person Marla is. If I can ask my Sapphire family to raise their hands. Marla, this team, we are not us without you. Working for you has been a privilege. You are truly the gem in Sapphire Marketing. We love you and look forward to many more Sapphire years. Happy birthday and happy anniversary. Can I get a
Okay, so for the record, 1 minute, it's not 8 minutes. Just 7 minutes straight. Okay, so when I was younger, I always played a game with my mom called Velcro. Yes. I would pretend that we were Velcroed together, and I would follow her around everywhere. Yes, I would walk on her toes, and we were Velcroed together. So clearly, you can see I never wanted to leave my mom's side. And there's a reason for that. Mom, you've not only been a great mom to us, but you've been so much more. You're a comfort to us, a friend to us, and an idol to us. Throughout the past 26 and 20 years, we truly could not have imagined our life without you there by our side. Whether it be giving us advice, helping us with a big project, rubbing our backs when we can't fall asleep, being a shoulder to cry on, or going on shopping sprees, you truly do it all.
Thanks for all the care packages, Sunday night dinners, and endless soccer games. Thanks for always scheduling everything weeks in advance and considering getting your nails done a necessity. But most of all, thanks for being the most inspiring, supportive, and kind mother you have been all these years.
You are caring, intelligent, inspiring, supportive.
Big word, Mom, help me.
No, I was reading your line. Beautiful. ambitious, selfless, and all-in-one perfect mom. We love you. Happy birthday, and happy miles.
Do you have my boyfriend from like 6th grade here?
Yes, right here.
Let me know here.
Okay. Explain.
Look at this.
8 pages. Let's begin. Everybody got a drink? Right on. And it's upside down. Where's that? Hebrew. Yeah, screw it up. I threw it the wrong way. No, I'll have to do it. Just follow along. See if that's
Stop matrix printer.
It's the first one I ever had.
All right, Marla, 2. Pay attention. Where do we begin, Marla? Huh? I guess the most logical and best place to begin is at the beginning. Over 30 years ago, we met. It wasn't your standard.
Linda remembers.
Linda, we have a lot of stories we could share. Yeah, Linda was complicit. It was over 30 years ago we met.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Cost you everything too, didn't it? It wasn't your standard high school sweetheart or I met my lovely bride in college story. We met at work. We met long 30 years ago. And it wasn't, it wasn't love at first sight, or we certainly weren't destined to be. I mean, I was this Mormon kid from Utah, and in her words, absolutely had zero culture in class. Translated, what the hell am I doing with this guy, right? Yeah. And she was this nice little Jewish girl from Long Island, and in my words, spoiled Jap. Translated, I'll never be able to afford this one. But something brought us together, and that something has kept us together for a long, long time. And when I look back over those 30 years, we have accomplished a lot, and we have a lot to be thankful for. We've raised 2 beautiful daughters, the love and the pride of our lives, and what more could you ask for when you look at these, other than a longer speech? Beautiful. And most of you don't know this, but when right after Jenny was born, Marla went right back to work, and she felt terribly, terribly guilty when Jenny was born. And then, far worse than that, when Danny came, because she went back to work. Everybody in town, they stayed home, and they cooked, and they cleaned, you know, the 2 things that she doesn't do. And she went to work, the thing that she's good at. But she felt guilty all forever, I think to this day, because she always said, Bev, you know, our babysitter, they raised the kids.
You forgot to invite her.
We didn't forget. She's the only one I'd have to pay to come. But she said, you know, Bev, she felt so guilty because she never raised her kids. But when I look at our 2 daughters, and I look at what they've become and what they are today, there's no doubt in my mind you never left your kids. Everything that you are, your values, your character, your huge love of life and people, these guys have. They have everything of you they have. Brains and beauty they got from me. Yeah.
Come on, baby.
Look at it. But please don't feel guilty anymore, because you have raised 2 beautiful kids. Besides the kids, for the last 15 years, she started and grew a very strong and very successful company, and still runs that company today. She, in our industry, and it's a pretty big industry today, she's known as the queen, as Lainey just said. I'm known as Marla's husband. Says it all. But there isn't anybody in our industry that doesn't look up to her, that doesn't revere her and look at everything she's accomplished, and that's very few things, very few people, and no woman in our industry has accomplished. But the number one accomplishment and the thing that we have, Marla, is summed up in the word, I would say, us. Everything we have, everything we do, everything we think and feel for the last 30 years has been you and I together. You are my wife, my best friend, my business partner, the love of my life. And for that, I owe you everything. I love you.